My guest today is Matthew Cordio, the co-founder of CAREDirect. I was not familiar with this product or this company until just recently, which means a lot of you listening out there may not be either. So let's learn something about another product that can assist with diversion mitigation. Welcome, Matt.
Thanks for having me, Terri.
Tell us about CAREDirect. What prompted you to start this, and tell us about your product.
Yeah, so CareDirect was founded about 5 years ago by a passionate team that really wanted to help small to mid-sized healthcare facilities like surgery centers, vet clinics, dental clinics access more sophisticated drug dispensing technology to prevent diversion and help streamline the medication dispensing process. Because there was a realization that there are, solutions serving the top of the market in acute settings, but they're really, not priced to be affordable for more of an ambulatory care setting, surgery center, or clinic. So we developed an electronic medication cabinet and cloud software that accompanies it. The cabinet provides access control, so you can limit what providers have what access to certain drugs. It enforces best practices around drug dispensing, keeps you compliant with DEA regulations. It automatically generates drug logs, enforces daily counts, and especially blind counts as well, which is very important when you're looking at diversion. So in a nutshell, our cabinet is accessed also by 2 levels of security. So we see a lot of ambulatory facilities still are using key lock cabinets and paper drug logs to stay compliant with the DEA regulations. And, we are accessed through an RFID card usually, and then a secondary unique PIN code. So there's 2-factor authentication, which really means that there's some strict protocols around access control that key lock cabinet just simply can't offer.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, there's a lot in what you just said there. First, I'm glad that you mentioned veterinary clinics. I've been hearing a lot lately. It's been coming up more and more in some of the listservs and the feeds and stuff that I read, and we kind of forget about them because we're with the humans over here.
Yeah.
But the veterinary clinics, I mean, they have all the meds and they do a lot, and they fall prey to the same types of things. So I think that's great. I didn't think about this product going into places like that, but I think that's a fantastic solution for them.
Yes, it really has been a great solution for our veterinary clinic partners across the country.
Yes, absolutely. And then you also talked about the clinics that, using the key lock type of thing. I've seen places where they do have a key lock and then they have software where they can keep track of their inventory, which is all good and well, but it's not connected. So, they literally can just go in and, well, actually not go in and say they did something and take it out. And if they don't really think about it, they think they've got this great inventory solution, but really I can just go take without logging. So your system connects the two, and you can't get in there until you go on and log on.
Yes.
Yes.
So we have very configurable access controls. So, for example, an administrator facility can set their own policies of what compartments they want to allow certain providers to access based on their roles. They also, our access controls allow, basically can require that provider, before they remove medications from a cabinet, enter in what they will be removing. So there's a little bit of enforcement there and making sure that counts are accurate too. So, enforcing blind counts every time something's removed is also an option. And really just, combining that software with the key lock cabinet. And it's really having, I think, a positive impact on the facilities we've partnered with.
Right. So is it safe to say, I don't typically like to mention other vendors when I'm on a call with somebody, but everybody knows Pyxis and Omnicell, so there's no hiding that. Is it safe to say that it's essentially just like that, but meant for small to mid-size, more affordable, more workable? It's
exactly, yeah. We're just I think a more affordable solution. Our price point is I think very competitive against those solutions, and it's built to be in an ambulatory facility, so with not a lot of space. So the cabinet's wall mounted, only sticks about 4 inches out of the wall, and allows for a cabinet to be placed somewhere maybe more higher visibility than a medication closet, or somewhere where they could possibly have eyes not looking at who's in that cabinet and what they're taking out.
Sure. So you mentioned maybe a couple of things, but what would you say would be the reason? Let's say a clinic of some sort is attached to a large hospital system. They don't need the big Omnicell Pyxis, but there are tabletops of those items. What would be the reason that you would have them consider yours as opposed to a tabletop, since they're working with that vendor?
Yeah, our storage capacity is higher than a traditional tabletop. We also have an expansion cabinet that greatly expands our storage capabilities, allows for securing bulk items that may not fit in a tabletop. Once again, too, just the wall mounted, you don't need a table. It could be in a more high traffic area, higher visibility area, which is great for preventing diversion, as well as just the cost. We're going to be significantly lower than a tabletop option. So
okay, that's fantastic. Now, are your machines, do they have the ability to be connected to EMR, electronic medical record?
We are currently working on a new release of our cloud software, and hope to offer that in Q4, an HL7 connection. So the answer is soon.
More to come. Yeah, good.
We're constantly investing in our product and making sure that the digital capabilities, the user interface, are very intuitive and easy for a provider to pick up on.
Sure, absolutely. Okay. Do you have any stories that you can share with us of customers that maybe either thought they might have had a diversion problem and then found it after they installed your machines, or maybe didn't even know that they had a problem? They just knew it was the right thing to do to be a little bit more secure, and then they discovered something.
So I think often facilities, as you probably know, don't keep diversion top of mind, and sometimes don't want to admit that it's happening in their facility, or just don't have a way to detect it. We're typically approached in a few different scenarios. One is, there's been a diversion, and a facility is evaluating if trying to detect that. We add that extra layer of visibility. That, for example, if they're using a manual process for securing and tracking their medications, it just, the digital access control really helps, and the reporting really helps identify diversion.
Right.
The other kind of scenario is we're seeing more and more facilities really placing an emphasis on building facilities with this type of hardware in it, launching new facilities. So, obviously the surgery center space and vet space are both growing rapidly. So a fair bit of those. But then also, too, unfortunately, sometimes we get contacted after a diversion event occurs, or after, something unfortunate happens at facility. And, we prefer our customers are proactive, but we're here to really partner and figure out how to develop a solution that's going to help secure and track your medications.
Yeah, I think you're right. All too many times people go with we don't have a problem here. And, if you don't have one, it's because you're not looking. And then unfortunately, it's after they find it that now they're scrambling to either put in the action plan that they were required to do, along with paying their fees potentially for their, yeah. Okay, all right. Well, I think that's great. I think your machines are great. People can go take a look at them, I'm sure, and see what they look like. But it sounds like they really, your company has found a product that can satisfy that niche, that there are a lot of clinics, urgent cares, veterinarians. You mentioned dentists. Do you find that dentists have, they don't keep, do they keep controlled substances?
So primary and oral surgery.
Okay.
Some facilities that offer oral surgery or sedation dentistry, which is a growing trend, may have narcotics on hand, and we certainly can help secure and track those. Also,
Okay.
I should mention cosmetic clinics as well. We're seeing that, and actually in our pipeline, as well as a refrigerated option of our cabinet. It'll likely be more like a refrigerator than a cabinet, but it's looking like that. But a major issue too is just high value drugs.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I get focused on controlled substances, but there's a reason for accountability. Well, really, as I was talking to somebody recently, diversion is diversion, whether it's controlled substance, whether it's high value, whatever it is. If you're taking something, it's diversion. So there's a need for it really anywhere that you have inventory that it's theft. And so you can guard that. So yeah, in cosmetic, a lot of those high value type things that you want to keep locked up, and that applies to a lot of places. Okay, great. Well, I think you guys got a great niche, and I think it's great to see that out there so these other places can have more accountability. It's fantastic. All right.
Well, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for your time, Matt.
Appreciate it. Have a great day.
You too.